Hello, my name is Brandon Clayton, and I'm the Algebra Guy. As you see on your screen, today's topic will be how to calculate commission, tax, and discount. So let's get straight to what are the questions we're answering today. So by the end of this lesson, you'll be able to solve sales tax applications, solve commission applications, discount, and markup applications. So these will all be word problems dealing with sales tax, commission, discount, and markups. Now, all these are very applicable. We talk about applications. These are things that you can and will very likely use now as you learn it and as you go into the future. So let's jump right into here and see what kind of problems we can get. So here's our first one. Kathy bought a bike in Washington where the sales tax rate was 6.5% of the purchase price. What was the sales tax and what was the total cost of the bike if the purchase of the bike was $392? So she bought a bike for $392 and she knows that the tax rate is 6.5%. Two questions. What's the tax? How much money did she spend on tax? And what's going to be the total cost of her bike? So to find her total tax, first of all, we're going to find the total that she spent on tax. And to get the total cost, of course, we're going to add that total tax to the cost. So what's the total tax? So think about it first in this sentence. The sales tax is 6.5% of the purchase price. Well, the sales tax is what we're looking for. So we're going to make that an X. Is going to be an equal sign. We can change this to a decimal because we're trying to make it into an equation we can use by dividing, because 6.5% is percent per 100. That means we're dividing by 100, moving this decimal back two places. 1, 2. So that's 0.065 of is going to give us a multiplication, the purchase price. So the purchase price we know is $392. So this gives us, where's my decimal? Here. So this gives us how to find the X, the purchase price. So in order to do that, I'm going to see if I can pull up my handy dandy calculator. So I would encourage you to have one as well for this, so that this is a lot easier. Sorry about that. Let me pull it out here. And all right, so let me get everything lined back up. All right, that's more likely. That's what I want right there. All right, so for our sales tax, we're going to pull out our calculator and just put that in. So that's going to give us, I can still read it here, 0.065 times 392. Nope. 0.065 times 392. So there it is. It looks like our tax, that the money we're going to spend in tax is going to be $25. $25.48 in tax. This is the tax that we're spending. So what's the total we're going to spend? In order to find that, should be easy because we're just going to add the tax to the cost of the bike. So we know that it was $392, and we're going to add the cost of the bike and the taxes as well. So again, I'm going to use my calculator for this because we've already discussed how to add decimals. So we can just go straight to here, 392 plus, and that's supposed to be a 0 here, not a whatever that looks like, and plus 25 plus 25.48. And there we are. So we answered both questions. This gives us 417.48. So what was the sales tax? 25.48, and the total is 417.48. All right, next problem. Evelyn bought a new smartphone for $499 plus tax. She was surprised when she got the receipt and saw that the tax was $42.42. What was the sales tax rate for this purchase? So what's the question we're trying to answer? Let's think about this and realize that they're asking us what percent of the price is sales tax. So what percent, we don't know that part. That's what we're looking for, this tax rate of, that's multiplication, the price, what is the price? $4.99 is, that's equals the sales tax. The sales tax is $42.42. So in order to solve this, I need to isolate my x by dividing by $4.99 on both sides. And when I do that, that goes away, cancels, and now I have 42 divided by $4.99. Pull out my calculator to do that work. 42 divided by $4.99. And of course, we're going to get a decimal. Now, what we're going to look for in this decimal is we're going to stop at the hundredths place usually, because that's going to tell us what percent, because we're talking about per 100. So we're looking 0.085. And I'm going to go ahead and, no, I'll leave it that way actually. So it looks like it's going to be I'm going to make it bigger just so you can see it, 0.08501. So I want the percent. So we're going to multiply this by 100, and by doing that, it moves this decimal 2 spaces. So it gives us a 8.5%. So I know this is 8.5%. So answering that question, what was the sales tax rate? It was an 8.5% sales tax rate, which is pretty typical, at least here in the South, in Texas. Helene is a realtor. She receives 3% commission when she sells a house. How much commission will she receive for selling a house that costs $260,000? Wow. Let's find that out, because for a realtor, this is really exciting. So they know these numbers, and I'm sure they can calculate it in their head. The commission is 3. The commission is 3% of the price. So what do we know? We don't know the commission, because how much commission is what we're looking for. So we're going to say that's X is 3% can be written as a decimal. Percent is, that's in the hundredths place of the price. The price is $260,000. And now we got our equation in front of us that's going to set us up for success in getting this answer, because 0.03 times 260,123 gives us X equals $7,800. So they get a $7,800 commission when they sell this house. And that's for, if you don't know commission, that's the money you get as a percent on somebody's sale. So they get to take that home. Ricky earned $87 commission when he sold a $1,450 stove. What rate of commission did she get? So what's the rate that she's using to get that? So let's look. So we found, they told us it was 3% last problem, but we got to figure out what the rate is this time. So the commission is what percent of the sale? The commission, $87, is what percent? We don't know that part. Of the sale of $1,450. So I'm gonna get my X by itself by dividing both sides by $1,450, and those cross out. That leaves me with X equals whatever this is. Again, put that on my calculator. 87 divided by 1,450, and that's a pretty easy number to write. That's going to be 0.06. So moving that decimal 2 places gives me a 6%. So 6% commission is what he got on the sale of that stove. All right, so let's look at solving for a discount. And this is a really popular situation, especially around special holidays and whatnot. So you'll see this is 80% off, 20% off, and you may not know which one is a better deal until you actually do the numbers. You don't want to just go on which one is the flashiest or feels the best. So let's talk about how to get discount. So the amount of a discount is a percent off the original price. Amount of discount is equal to the discount rate times the original price, and the sales price is the original price minus the discount. Now this actually makes sense intuitively, and I'm going to show you that as we work these problems. For instance, Jason bought a pair of sunglasses that were on sale for $10 off. Well, the original price was $39. So what was the sale? Well, that should be pretty easy. Originally it was $39 and there's $10 off. So we're going to take $10 off, leaving us with $29. Pretty simple. So, and we know how to do that. But what if we included a percent here? Elise bought a dress that was discounted for 35% off the original price of $140. What was the amount of the discount? And then what's the sale price of the dress? So first, let's find out how much money is 35% off of $140 and take it off of $140. So we can find out the final sales price. So the sales price is the original price minus the discount. So this is the original price. Well, we already know that it's minus the discount. But the real question is, what is 35% of 140? So what is 35% of 140? So what is, we don't know that part. 35%, this is what is, this equals 0.35, because 35 divided by 100 is 0.35 of 140. And we can put that in our calculator. 0.35 times 140, and we get $49. So now we know that it's a discount of $49 because that they're taking off of 140. So what's my final price? Well, it's just going to be whatever 140 is minus 49, and it looks like it's going to be 81 or 91. 140 minus 49, 91. So $91. So I'm guessing she'll be pretty happy, right? Instead of paying $140, she's coming out with $91 because she did her math and took 35% off, because 35% was $49. Jeanette bought a swimsuit at a sales price of $13.95. The original price of the swimsuit was $31. Find the amount of the discount. So originally it was $31. She bought it for $13.95. Well, that part is pretty easy, right? Because we can find a discount just by subtracting. So let me subtract those two. We're going to do 31, which was the original, minus $13.95. So let me write that out just so you can follow along. $31 minus $13.95. That gave us $17.05. So that's the amount of the discount. This is how much she saved because she bought it for $13 even though it was $31. So what was the rate that she used? So what percent, that's the question we want to know. What percent is what percent is yes, that's how I want to say it. Man, there's so many ways to say this. I don't want to erase all that. I want to say, let's say it this way. $13.95 is what percent? That'll be easier. Is what percent of $31? So when I write it this way, it helps me think about it as an equation. So I'm going to erase this first one because I couldn't quite get that one out. But with this second one, I can say, oh, $13.95 is some percent, what percent, we don't know, of $31. So now I can see what I need to do. And I need to get my x by itself by dividing 31. So doing that gets rid of that. X equals whatever the math comes out to be here. And let's do it. $13.95 divided by 31. And it looks like we're looking for percent, so we're going to move that decimal 2 spaces to get 45%. So what was the question? What was the discount rate? She got 45% off. And does that make sense? Let's kind of check, right? 45 is about half off, and that's about half. So that does make sense. So she got 45% discount. All right, let's look at a markup. Markup is what companies use to actually make money. They take the price that they get at wholesale and they mark it up a little bit so they can make some profit when you buy it. So the list price should always be more than the wholesale price. Of course, they're listing it for a price that's bigger than what they bought it at wholesale. They can afford to buy it cheaper because usually they buy it in bulk and buy bigger numbers and they get a better deal on it and charge us, the consumer, oftentimes a more expensive price that's marked up. So let's look at a marked up situation. Adam's Art Gallery bought a photograph at the wholesale price of $250. Adam marked up the price 40%. So $250 was a wholesale. He marked it up 40%. So find the amount of the markup first of all. So the real question here is 200. Well, let's say it this way. What is 40% of 250? So that's the first question we're asking ourselves. So what is 40% of 250? And this is just going to lend itself to being multiplication. So let me get my calculator back out. And that's going to be 0.40 times 250. And there's $100 markup there. So he's going to add $100 onto it. So $100 is going to be added. So the list price of the photograph should be what? So how much should he list it for if he's marking it up 40%? Well, he's going to take that 250 and add that 100 to it. And now it's going to be 350. So that's the markup price, 350. So that's what you and I, if we're buying something at a retail store, we'll see as the price is 350, but originally it was 250, but he marked it up 40% to cover bills and make a profit and pay employees and all those good things. All right, did we answer our questions? Did we accomplish our goals? We talked about sales tax and the application of sales tax. If you're buying something, the 8.5% and so on. We talked about what commission is that you can make if you're selling a house or the guy with the stove. How much discount applications, how to apply that if you're getting 20% off, 35% off. And lastly, we just talked about markup if someone's trying to make a profit because they own a business possibly. Guys, look, thanks for tuning in. My name is Brendan Clayton, the Algebra Guy, and I will see you next lesson.